Okay, so I've never used Docere before, but it should be pretty easy. I'm going to try and show you the Unity Day manual. And, if you have any questions for that, just text me, email me. But since you guys weren't able to make the meeting, I was like, well, we should probably somehow teach you guys what we're going to be doing this Friday. So, yeah. You'll get a manual. The printout looks like this. It's going to be like 10 pages long, full of everything you're going to need that day. And of course, I'll be there, and Dina will be there if you have any questions the day of. So, yeah, it'll look like that. And all of the other pages will be full of information, like this one, which is our schedule, which is going to be in your packet. It's going to have the layout of everything we're doing. Super simple, super fun. Oh my god, no, please. So yeah, we're going to start by signing everyone in at 7:30. We would like you guys to be there a bit earlier. I'm going to be there around 7:15 in my pink shirt and my closed-toed shoes, like we ask all of you to be wearing. And at 8 o'clock, when everybody's signed in, and we started the cultograms, and everyone's got their name tags on, I'm going to be like, oh, hey guys, yada yada, do my little spiel. At 8:05, we're going to go in small groups and talk about the culturegram. And I'll talk more about that later, like what it is and how we do it. And we're going to discuss, what makes us different, how do we, we're all different, but we're all the same, that kind of thing. And at 8:15, we're going to do another activity called Walk the Line, where I, myself, or Dina, will call out some questions, and they'll walk to either side of the room. If they agree with a statement, it'll make more sense when we get into the flow of it, but it's super easy. And the dot activity at 9:30 is quite similar to that, except instead of walking across the gymnasium, they'll be getting dots, so they have a visual representation of all they've been through. It'll make more sense later, I promise. And then at 8:30, you haven't really gotten to know much about your small group, so we're going to do the M&M activity, and you guys are going to eat M&Ms, and it's going to be really fun. You get to know each other better because there are questions that go along with each color of M&M, and I have a little description later. At 8:40, we're going to start the human knot, and most people that have done like team building exercises have probably heard of this. You all just hold hands and twist around until you unknot yourself. Really simple, really fun, always makes everybody laugh. At 8:50, there's a student video presentation that Miss Kincaid had. One of our students at Wiregrass made a video that she thinks we should probably watch. It should be really cool. At 9:05, we have sexuality activity. That's our trivia game. We asked the facilitators if they know not to tell the students. Let them do this on their own. It should be really fun for them. And there's going to be prizes handed out. And if your group wins, then you get a prize too. So you want your group to win rather than do well. At 9:30, after we discussed the activity that we just did, we're going to do the dot activity. So this is the one where we're going to ask the kids more in-depth questions, more heartbreaking questions, and they're probably going to cry. And if you can't deal with that, just get an adult, and we'll talk about it and we'll talk through it. It gets pretty emotional most of the time. That's why we take a little bit longer to do it. But then at 10 o'clock we're going to do Unbreak My Heart, and we just basically give you a giant paper heart, and you guys are going to rip it up and write the nicest thing anyone's ever said to you and the meanest thing anyone's ever said to you, and then talk about it, and then try to put the heart back together again. And it's supposed to look really messed up and represent how once people have hurt you, your heart doesn't go back just quite the same, but it's still full of love, kind of thing. Very deep. And at 10:20, we're going to eat lunch. There's going to be pizza, vegetarian, vegan, and regular, and salad. And it should be pretty awesome. And then at 10:55, we have a guest speaker. I don't know who this guy is, but for those of you that were there last year, no, it is not the same old guy as before. He was horrible, and we're never going to have him back. He was bad. So then after lunch and after the guest speaker, we're going to do our consent activity, which a lot of people don't really understand. Why are we talking about consent when we're talking about unity? But really, we're looking out for the safety of our students, both mental and physical. And it's really important that we talk about it, so we're going to do that. It's like a Red Rover kind of game. Do you think this is consent? Yes, you're right, take some steps forward. or yes, you're wrong, take some steps back, and then whichever group gets there first is going to, they're going to get a prize. And then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to do the affirmation bucket, and we're going to have kids, like, write really nice things on a piece of paper, and then take one from a bucket as they leave, so that they all get a nice, like, oh, someone loves me kind of thing. And then we're going to have them talk about, they're going to evaluate the day and how well it did, so we can have criticism for next year. And then you guys are going to say goodbye, share, like, Snapchats or whatever, and I'm going to say, thanks for coming, and then 5th period will end, and 6th period will start, and then session 1 will be over. We're going to do a schedule, like a time schedule for session 2 for the freshmen, and it's going to look a lot like this, but with, like, lunch and the guest speaker first, because at that point, it's 12 o'clock, these kids should be eating, but, yeah, and everything else is pretty much the same after that. So, for, like, you guys' conversation, we have a couple of, definitions. We have the definition of unity, we have, what else do we have? Oh no, that was not it. Anyway, we have a lot of definitions for you guys to talk about, in case you want to incorporate that into your discussions. So yeah, this is the Culturegram. I'll let you read that. And the walk the line activity. So yeah, no one walked the line. Anywho, this is it. There'll be Culturegrams. You'll see what they are. They say things like, what's your name, what are your pronouns, your religion, yada yada. And we're gonna talk about all of that stuff later. Really important stuff. People might have nicknames that they want to be called by. Call them that. If they have pronouns they prefer, please use them. We're trying to be as respectful as we can of people and their differences. So yeah, the walk the line one is, it explains it pretty well. We already have a list of questions that we're going to ask from last year. They're, all you have to do is, most of these exercises you're going to be able to do yourself, and they're really fun to do. So, we'll have that. Here we go, this is the next one. Here's the rest of the walk the line, and this is the M&M game. It's really fun because you guys basically pour M&Ms into your hand and you answer questions about yourself. Like, say I get a yellow and 3 reds. Be like, my favorite song is, I don't know, I like the Hamilton soundtrack. Red, my favorite TV shows, I really like The Following, I really like, just like things that they like. And then you all eat your M&Ms, and it's really awesome because it's chocolate and you get it for free. What else is next? Human Knot. Super easy. This one's just for fun. There's no like, oh, we're trying to learn a deeper, important meaning. Like, you're just trying to team building kind of thing, to let these kids trust each other a little bit more before they start sharing their deepest, darkest secrets. The sexuality one, it's trivia. We already have the trivia questions done, so you'll hear them. But yeah, you're not allowed to answer the questions because we have had people that like cheat and they like learn everything the night before, kind of thing. Isn't that cool? The dot questions. Whew. This caution, it holds so true. I'm gonna actually highlight that because, oh my gosh, people cry so hard. It's crazy. And you know what? You might cry too. I'll make sure I bring some tissues. You never know. It's really, really deep. And the next one is right here. Unbreak My Heart. This one is kind of like, a little less intense. They get a little bit of a come down from the dot questions with Unbreak My Heart, and they're just kind of like, oh, a little bit better. But then, you do talk about things that are sad to you, so some people just kind of like start crying and they don't stop until lunchtime, and then we all get to console each other, and it's really, something else. Now, this next one has a lot of red because you need to pay attention to it, because this is a lot of, important information here. This one and the dot activity are like our most emotional, the most revealing activities, which is what we want. We want these kids to open up to us. So yeah, all the information is here, and it'll be given to you again on the day of. But yeah, basically it's like, just so important that we get this into their minds now while they're still, a little bit young. But if anyone feels uncomfortable, we're going to have a little warning beforehand, and anyone that's uncomfortable, I'm going to take out with me, and we're going to do some other exercise, because not everybody, might be triggering for some people. I understand that. And then, yeah, here's our affirmation bucket and our evaluation. And then after that, we're going to do it all over again for second session with the freshmen. It's an easy job. It'll be fun, hopefully. You'll get your volunteer hours, and that's always a plus. But thank you so much, guys, for helping out. I really, really appreciate it, especially because some of you guys were, thrown into the mix, even today. So thank you so much. Please make sure to get your permission slips in. And if you want to buy a shirt, I am buying them tomorrow, the 5th, Tuesday, from Michael's that night. I'm getting $4 or $5 from everybody that wants one, and then we're going to decorate them with puffy paint one day after school. So, please, guys, just, make sure on Friday you wear your pink and you wear your closed-toed shoes and get your permission slips in by Wednesday. And all of your friends, make sure they get their permission slips in. Yep. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.